Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Host Fred Arnold on the Santa Clarita Business and Real Estate Show, joined by Patti Handy. Patti Handy, four-time author and speaker, mortgage professional. But we want to talk today about preparing to come in and see you for a successful pre-approval.
Yes, we talk a lot about loan products on the show and what we offer, and I want to kind of step it back a little bit for those who are just starting to think about buying a house. Mm-hmm. What do I need to do to get started?
And they're going to come in to consult with you, sit down one-on-one.
Right.
And tell us about that consultation. How does it look?
Yeah. So I walk them through, first of all, the documentation that we need to kind of get the process started.
Great. So what's that typically then?
So typically we need 2 years of tax returns, 2 years W-2s, 1 month's worth of pay stubs, 2 months' worth of bank statements. Pretty easy.
Yep.
It's not really that much.
But it sounds overwhelming. And in some cases, I find self-employed borrowers, where am I going to get that? Their CPA can send it directly, or their tax professional.
I have them have their CPA just email me directly the W-2s and the tax returns, and then they just need to get
password protect it, and we can open it up.
Yep, we can get it.
Yeah.
And then I'll pull credit. We'll talk about what they're dealing with credit-wise.
So let's talk about that. Why is that so important?
Yeah, the credit is so vital. In fact, if I have an opportunity to talk to a client ahead of time, I will ask them to pull their credit like 6 months ahead, just so if there's errors on the report, and we do see errors a lot, they have a chance to undo those errors, get that repaired. But yes, FICO scores determine our interest rate. If there's issues of collections, if there's issues of anything late or anything going on, we need to address it.
And if you had lates, or if you are maxed out on a credit card, there's so many things you can advise somebody to do to increase their score, which is going to save them a lot of money over the next 30 years.
Absolutely. If we can, take care of some of that debt, clean up the situation, increase their FICO score, put them over a certain point, their interest rate will come down. And yes, absolutely, the payment is substantially different.
Now, there's one thing I know you do, and I want to mention it here briefly. Make sure you ask Patti, and she'll go over with you, the rent versus own, and why is that important?
Yeah, it is important because you don't realize how much you are gaining when you buy, and how little of difference the monthly payment would be.
Especially after taxes.
After taxes, you can go back to your employer and raise your dependents so that you get a little bit bigger paycheck, because you have now those deductions of the property taxes and the home insurance or home interest for now, anyways. So yeah, there's absolutely a huge advantage. Not to mention the appreciation that you see in owning real estate.
Even if it's modest.
Over time.
I think for like a 35-year period, and I might be off by a couple years, the average appreciation in California is 6.44% over the life. So if you're buying a house for $500,000, 6% of that,
right.
$30,000.
Well, just talk to your parents. They'll tell you, I bought my first house for $11,000. You can't buy a car today for $11,000.
So if you pay $450 for a starter home or $700 for a move-up home,
right?
Yeah, what's it going to be worth? Yeah, you're so right. The other thing that people forget, Patti, and I want you to address it, is principal paydown is between 25 and 30% of your payment.
If you're
when you buy
a house,
pay down principal, that's like an automatic savings. That's it addressed in your book.
Absolutely. And if you rent, you're paying the landlord's mortgage for him.
Yeah,
you're making him rich.
You're building their wealth.
You're making him rich, right? So so important to.
I know that's one thing you talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about getting qualified. Underwriting, what's that? Can sound scary. Someone's going to look at what are they looking for?
So the really nice thing with us is that we have direct connection with our underwriters. We have conversations with them. We know exactly what the guidelines look like, and we can coach our clients with what we should package together.
I love coaching your clients.
So yeah, absolutely. So if you're W-2, we typically will look at the last 2 years. We'll look at the history of the income. If there's commission or bonus, we'll look at the average of those income. If you're a new student and you don't have a 2-year history, that's okay. We can get you a copy of your transcript and your diploma, say you're new out of college, and then we get a letter from your employer that now you're hired, here's your new income. We use that income. So there's lots of ways. Don't think that you need a 2-year history if you're, fresh out of college. We absolutely have programs for that. In fact, we only have 3% down for a first-time home buyer program, which is awesome.
Which is awesome. And then the VA.
The VA,
No money
FHA,
down, yeah.
There's lots of options.
Yeah.
But yes, so we package the loan together. I walk them through what closing costs look like, what that looks like in terms of impounds, reserves, prepaids, how much they need in the bank, how we price the loan, where we can get lender credit if they're short on cash. There's so many ways that we can structure the loan to make it work. So
so that you're ready.
So that you're ready. And it's so important to have that conversation with your lender even before you go out looking. So you have an idea of what you need in the bank. You have an idea of what your FICO score looks like. We get your documentation ready. And we just take away all the unknown.
Yeah.
And that's really huge.
And there's we always want to talk about generalities, but there's also some programs out there by Fannie and Freddie, Home Possible, Home Ready, that you know about, where you can dig deeper to find out whether someone can get a discount on some of their fees, or the STAR program. There's so many things that you can look at to help people get in for less money.
Yep, it depends on their income, where we're buying. The STAR program is for police and fire and teachers. We give them the $1,000 credit, which is huge. So yes, it's all kinds, and it sort of brings us back to the importance of sitting down with a lender. A lot of people are online today doing shopping, and yeah, it's important to understand what's out there in terms of pricing, but there's nothing, you can't put a dollar amount on sitting down with somebody face to face and being coached through the process, because that unknown is what stops people from doing anything, because confused people do nothing. Right. And if you can't get into a home because
paralyzed.
They're just it's just the paralysis by analysis. Yeah. And it's so important to have that face to face so that concern goes away.
Yeah, absolutely. Those who want to reach out to you to set that appointment up?
Yeah, email me at Patti with an I, P-A-T-T-I, at AFFloans, LOANS.com.
And the books, mention them real quickly, because there's a lot of great resources in the books.
Yeah, the most recent book is Money Rules 101, Master Your Money Before It Masters You. It's on Amazon, and that's a great book. It talks about credit, how you can get your score up, and so much more, how to buy your first home and everything else.
I love it. And there's other books too. So reach out to Patti. She'll also give you some advice when it comes to managing. In fact, bring your kids along, because Patti can teach them a thing or two, because she wrote a book on that too.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thanks. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Santa Clarita Business and Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Fred Arnold, on your hometown station, KHTS.